years ago, I was in like Pop Moody, and I was shopping around the art gallery, and I saw this beautiful painting called Raspberries, and I said, wow, this is something. Eh? So I purchased that painting, and then when I brought the painting back home, I was wondering if this artist will be curious, where is his painting, right? So I actually tried to search him up. And on Instagram, I messaged him. I said, Matt, my name is Tom, and then if you are curious, I'm the one who purchased your painting. And then Matt said, oh, nice to meet you. Can you do me one favor? So when you hang that painting, can you take a picture for me? I said, sure. That's easy, right? But then 1 month after, I forgot. So I feel so guilty, and then later I found out, you know what? I can do better, just take a picture. So I actually play music in front of his painting, and then sent him a video. And then apparently he was in shock because nobody had done that to him. So I think that's kind of like a birth of our color and melody. And then for the color and melody, you will be very curious. What do you mean color and melody? So a lot of people talk about artists, right? So Matt was a painter. She said she's an artist, right? And then I'm a musician. I say I'm the artist. My mother is a writer. She says she's an artist. So some of you might be a dancer, right? Everybody call yourself artist. But the problem is like those artists, they do not speak to each other. So I start to think about why can art combine together. So thank you today for coming here for our first experiment. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine Taiwanese music with Matt's painting.
Yeah, hi everybody. As mentioned, my name is Matthew Holmstrom. I am an artist. I was born in Banff, Alberta. I grew up in Beaumont, Alberta, just outside of Edmonton. I paint, I sculpt, I create pottery, and I use all kinds of other mediums like pyrography, which you will see in this slide. After finishing school in Edmonton, I moved to Vancouver with my partner Danielle and have been living and operating a studio in the city here for the past 8 years. My immediate family also moved to Vancouver and we're all very happy to be here. We have made many creative and kind friends from all over the world, like Tom. I just want to thank everyone for coming tonight. I'm very grateful to be sharing art with you this weekend. And with that, we're going to start with our first slide. It's a self-portrait that was completed in 2016, the year I signed a lease on my first small art studio in the city. I was very excited, and I decided that the first painting of the year would be a large 4-foot by 5-foot self-portrait that was done in acrylic. I wanted the self-portrait to represent my duality, balance, and perseverance at the time. And those years were a time of great exploration of my thoughts, opinions, and ideas. The style of painting that I use all throughout my art, and in this painting, represents thousands of floaters, abstracted floaters that I have in my vision permanently, caused by an eye condition called uveitis. So I have heavy sensitivity to light. There's thousands of floaters on 4 different levels. And when that happened in 2011, it really changed my overall outlook of life, and it really affected my perspective on how I wanted to continue with my aesthetics in art. So you can see in this painting, my condition greatly influenced this. In this portrait, you can see a lot of mark making, really fine detail, and a dispersed metallic glow. I have been asked a couple times why one half of the face is red, while the other half is blue. I made that decision to represent both my passionate and my contemplative soul. Red and blues are often associated with hot and cold or ups and downs, a paradox that artists face when making creative decisions on their artworks over extended periods of time.
Thank you, Matt. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to summarize Matt, what he just said, into Mandarin, just for some of friends here, and then I will go on with explain my music. So 这一幅画呢是这个 Matt 他的艺术家呢他自己的自画像，然后他这个自画像呢代表了有色彩，还有风格，一个平衡，还有想法，还有他自己的那个独特的个性。那 this portrait, I was wondering, probably a lot of you have the same question, right? Why there's a two side? Why is a darker side and then a brighter side? And then after I hear make an explanation, it's like a lot of us, we have a multiple sides of ourselves. We have a brighter side of ourselves, we have a darker side of ourselves. But the thing is like how can we actually find a balance of ourselves? And then what I'm going to pair with a Taiwanese song for this painting is like last year, one song in Taiwan was very famous, was actually win the Golden Horse Award Best Original Song, 金马奖哦。Golden Horse like award is like very much like a Taiwan's like an Academy Award. So award in that song is that award is actually very important. So I'm going to play that song, and then it's pretty much resembling when I see this portrait. This song is called What's on Your Mind. That's exactly what first time when I look at this portrait. What is on man's mind? 想知道你在想什么？因为我觉得说这幅画，当我第一次看到它的时候呢，我觉得说到底他在想什么？为什么他会有这样的想法，把自己画成一半？哦，然后我现在要拉这个音乐呢，就是配合，我不会拉整首音乐，大概1-2分钟，让大家感受一下那个画跟音乐合在一起的感觉，好吗？谢谢。
Confusion, anger, and pain. As we age, we experience more of this and learn how to think, understand, and teach others about these experiences. For these subjects, I chose to use my grandfather's old wood carving tools and a pyrography machine, which burns into wood, leather, and other materials. I had a machine that I used for project when I was still in university, and I always enjoyed the slow, layered nature of the medium. Along with a monochromatic aesthetic, it seemed suitable for these subjects. The Sands of Time, on the left, depicts an hourglass with an old man in the bottom and a younger woman on top. The grains of sand are falling on the old man, signifying mortality and youth slipping away. The notches in the background of the piece represent the tallying of time and hours spent wood burning the piece. Overall, this piece is representative of time and commitment. The sculpture in the middle, Sorrow, was chiseled out of a solid piece of balsa wood and with burned details. Its dramatic face that was created during a time of personal despair. And the piece on the right is called Swarm. And Swarm is a figure being swarmed by all kinds of sharp foliage, symbolizing confusion and turmoil. Through all cultures and time, there has been artwork that tells stories of war, separation, and being lost. Like many, I have been inspired by the carvings and artwork in places of religion and illustrative artworks in museums. These stories and art have helped me better understand the adversity that people must endure throughout their lives.
I use the group burn technique and to make it so it's really, really amazing. Can you explain this in Mandarin? 这些艺术品呢是透过燃烧木材的表面，一针一针这样子把它组合起来的。那这些作品呢，它代表了痛苦、悲伤、时间跟失望。哦，那我在想，当我看到这个的时候，我在什么？I try to mix up with Mandarin and English. So actually, I'm going to pair this woodburn piece with one song. The song was actually called 望你早归, looking forward to your return. And then the song was actually composed in 1946. So at that time, Taiwan was just recovering from the war. And it was actually very sad because a lot of husbands, they went to the war and then they didn't return. And then so a lot of mothers, wives, they are at home and they're waiting for their son or husband to return. So they cannot do anything but during the night, they will pray to the moon and then wish my husband or my son can be coming home. And then fast forward to today, we cannot imagine there's a war in this world. If you look at the Ukraine and then the Russian war on Ukraine, and then how many mothers, how many wives, they are waiting for their son to return. So this song is actually dedicated to those people. They suffer from the war and then dedicate to them and then wish their husband and son they can actually return home as soon as possible. This is 望你早归，这是望你早归。